Hello, hello. What's happening, everybody? We are here. ThumbstopLive, real live and direct to you. We're across a bunch of different platforms right now. As everybody knows, where you can find us is on LinkedIn, X, YouTube, and Instagram. Wherever you catch your streams, you know where to find us at. And I am pumped for today's stream. We got a ton of people lined up today, but someone who's going to help kick us off is Phil. Man, you guys don't even know. Him and I were just chatting in the back before this thing. Phil and I met, I want to say like 3 years ago now, how time flies. And I've been following on Twitter. I've been following Phil on Twitter for a minute, like before he even knew what motion was, essentially. And the first thing I told him, like, Phil, man, like, I'm so excited for this conversation. I feel like I know you. And he's like, all right, Evan, like, what the fuck? Like, don't be weird. And now I'm so freaking lucky to have him up here, just like bringing the knowledge to everybody. So for the first 30 minutes, I want to invite Phil to the stage and come rock out with us and just share some absolute gems. So everybody, show some love in the chat, bringing Phil to the stage. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
I'm good. All the better for being here with you, Evan. Yeah, I've been following you too. You know, you've been on the grind. You've been hitting new heights.
Yeah. I'm trying to catch you, man. I'm trying to catch you. I feel like I've learned so much, and I'm so excited for just like a broader audience, like in addition to yours, of course, to just see the knowledge bombs that you can drop. So I feel like the right place to kick off is for like anyone who isn't in the loop with what you have going on. Like, what's the quick, tell us about yourself, work history wise, what are you most well known for? Honestly, anything you're willing to share, and we'll take from there.
I mean, like, yeah, like the too long didn't read version. Like I felt like one of the young guys a long time ago, and now I kind of feel like one of the old guys. I started tweeting D2C stuff in like 2019. So, and I was doing ads before, and I was doing like ads and, you know, performance marketing before that, before it was called performance marketing. So, I mean, like, yeah, just like one of the ad dads, I suppose. And I'm tired. Yeah, that's why I am.
I've been through it. I'm tired. How did you get into this game, man? You've been at it for so long.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool story. And I have tweeted about this before, like really weird. So I was doing ads for a venue by where I live in the UK. So I was doing like graphic design, social media. And back then, like, I don't know, like 2016, 2015, like social media was ads. You know, you'd put an organic post up, then you'd boost it with £20 and you'd generate like 20 grand in revenue. And it was like, well, this is good. And I went to a Gary V was over here in the UK, and I went to the talk with my team and like my boss. He asked a question about dark posts. Who in the room's doing more than like 50 dark posts this month? And there was like 300 people in the room. And I put my hand up because I was like, yeah, everyone's doing these. I put my hand up. No one else.
Damn.
No one else put their hands up. And then Gary V's like, and the video's online, Gary V's like, so hold on a minute. We're in this room of digital marketers. I've been talking about dark posts for years. And we've got one great looking guy with a great beard with his hand up. And I'm going bright red. And then he just sort of went off on one. He was like kicking off on the audience. And then someone found me at that event and basically like headhunted me. And then I went and did like ads full time in house at like a car leasing place for like 3 years. Learned a ton back then, like the Wild West ads back then. And then yeah, just fell into econ. So sort of, you know, sliding doors if I didn't put my hand up. If I didn't go to that event, if Gary V didn't come over. Crazy.
Isn't it nuts how it's just like every single unique experience you've been to has just so happened to lead you to this spot? Like I always think about that stuff too for myself. I'm just like, holy crap, how did I end up here? So it's so freaking cool to hear that one played out.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm curious about, just to keep it a little bit like before we get into the actual work here, is I always like to do a Twitter deep dive just to see what's going on. And like I pull up some really old tweets, and I have 3 of yours that I'd love to go through. Oh, and the first one that I have here is from 2023, actually. So towards the end of the year. And what I was wondering is like, you dropped a little bit here, bad agency tip. If performance is down this week, blame it on GTA 5. You know what it is. Are you a gamer? You game?
Yeah, like I was. I mean, I feel like I'm Ad's dad. I'm actually a dad in real life. Like I do game now like a bit more because I feel like my work life balance is a bit better now. So like Saturday night, Friday night, I'm gaming. Halo
Mm.
was my big game. I've got like one of my tattoos on my arm. It's like a Halo one. Uh,
What?
that's like 25 years next year, I think, for Halo
Yeah,
one.
man.
So yeah, yeah.
Okay. I'm in the
I
same
was
camp as you.
I think
I'm in
the
the
one
same camp
tip
as you.
if anyone is a gamer, back in the day, I used to tell my mom it was helping me with my graphic design work because I was like graphic design student back in the day, and she'd be like, "Okay then," and then she just let me game all night. So
The
yeah,
tips and tricks, the tips and tricks. Yeah, it's similar for me. Like I stopped playing, but same thing. Halo, like Halo 3 was my thing on the
Mhm.
360. It'd just be on that nonstop. Like I wish I could stream that and be like, okay, how does it go? But I probably
yeah, and then
trash now.
you go. I mean, say you go on it now, and you just get an absolute pwned. Like yeah,
Playing like 12-year-olds who just like are unstoppable. And it's like, I have a life, okay? Screw you. Like I can't play
yeah,
this game with you.
yeah. I got bills to pay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. And then outside of the gaming stuff, I wanted to bring it back to like the ads and where we're at now. And one of the tweets I saw was from earlier this year that really took off at the beginning of this boom. So if I go ahead and share this one instead.
Mhm.
But here it's just like taking some of the products themselves with your prompt and then turning it into the actual output here. I'm just curious to know what your perspective is on the role of AI in like the life of that you live, essentially.
I mean, we're using it a ton in the agency. I guess so. Just to put that out there, like we're using it to make assets. We're using it to make like environments that are exaggerated. So,
Mm,
say if we've got like a product that's dirty, let's just make it like really, really dirty. And like and turn up the volume a little bit because outside of what you could do in a shoot. So we are using it. We're using it for like analyzing data. We'll do like an export out of a meta ad account and put it in and like, okay, what's the trend? So we're using it to like fast forward some stuff. So I'm all on board, and the team, we're always looking at different platforms. We're looking at like what motion they're doing.
mm.
Like these tweets, I was definitely riding the wave, like the zeitgeist, and like we haven't used any of this stuff in ads, and I think it's an interesting topic about these sort of again like zeitgeist things. It's like 20% of the activity gets like 80% of the attention, and actually where the real juice from the fruit is like the 80% of stuff that only actually gets like 20% of the attention because it's quite boring and usable. Whereas, I put out quite a few tweets during this period, and they were like they were fun, but that's all it was.
Mm. Yeah, they call it like the hype cycle. It's like when the hype is on the way up and then does it cool out and how does it go?
Mm.
But it sounds like you're using because there's AI on the analysis side and helping with the operational element, and then there's the creative aspect of it. So one thing I'm curious about to double click into on the creative side of things, do you find that like when you're using AI on the creative side, are you making it clear that it's AI by like making it even more dirty, for example? Or like what's the goal?
Yeah, we're making it more dirty, and it's more of like a brand asset rather than we're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of the consumer. And I think I think someone asked this in like the Foxwell group once. It's like, do you think consumers care that it's AI?
Mhm.
I think it's like 30 split. It's like some people know, some people don't know, and some people do know and don't care. Like, and so we're not trying to fake it. It's more as if it was like a 3D render. You're not trying to fake that it's a 3D render.
100%.
You're using it to communicate something, and like again, like agitate a point. Yeah.
100%. 100%. So, man. And then the last tweet I wanted to pull up here is like, you're always posting some absolute banger ads. And then this one you posted had a ton of love,
Mm.
but static ad final boss. Here it is. I'm just wondering if you can like give the step by step of how to make an absolutely banger of a static ad.
I mean, a lot of these things I find in my feed, um, and that's when I've put that little pin icon. That's what kind of like what that means. And a little tip: you can train your feed to give you more ads like this by screenshotting. So as soon as you start screenshotting, you're just on this like hype train of. So a lot of the time, I'll put out like it'll be like 4 ads from glasses brands this weekend, or like 4 ads from protein powder brands, and that's because I've started screenshotting, and then you just sort of start. So I'm causing nightmare for the ad accounts that who were serving me, but that post it was a bit of a tongue in cheek, to be honest, because you can see where Heights have gone with this, and like the designer, it's like, what happens if we take post-it notes, and then they've got like the PR, and then they take, like the listicle, like 1, 2, 3 reasons why, and then we've got like an offer, and then I think they've got like a subscription note, and you just like make this like Frankenstein ad. I mean, it's definitely for an in-market audience. And that's kind of where I put like that 4 times combo multiplier, because it's, yeah. I mean, it's a great ad, and I think if you're in market for the brand, then
for sure
it might work. Yeah,
for sure. When I saw the 4x multiplier, that's when I also went back to like video games. It's just like a combo you hit them with at that point. So I was like, tie it all together.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I love it, man. Something else that comes to mind for me is like, I'm so lucky to talk to people around the world, right? And you mentioned earlier you're in the UK, and now you're working for an agency that's based out of the US. So like, there's that perspective. But what I'm really curious about is like, if you're speaking to your fellow like media buyers, agency folks, brand folks in the UK, like what is the main difference between what you're seeing in like the UK market versus the American market?
I mean, like this is a question that asks for like a generalization of an answer. So like this is a generalization, and there's always going to be edge cases
for sure
for where this generalization doesn't apply. And I've been working with American ad accounts or US or international ad accounts for years. I think like budget, just because like it's a population thing. You're like 5x the population in the US versus the UK, and e-com was always so much further ahead in the US than the UK. Maybe I don't know why. Maybe it was like because Amazon started there. It's just got a bit of a head start. It's like I imagine that's the case. So like budgets are usually bigger. I think that idea of like a loss leading brand. Remember like 2018, 2019, the e-com playbook was make a loss on the first order.
Yeah, man.
Recuperate that product in retention, sell the brand. And that was a thing that was just like copy and paste in the US. And I didn't really personally experience that in the UK. And again, I'm sure there was brands that was doing that in the UK, but it seemed like everyone was doing that in the US. I think like velocity is definitely a better in the US. And then I've personally just experienced more brands in the UK who are a bit more cautious around brand. So the idea of like an Instagram brand, this isn't how we talk to our customers. And it's like, you spent like 50 grand on ads. You don't really have any customers at the minute. And I know I'm, shitting all over UK brands at the minute again, but it's a generalization. So
I wonder if there's a life cycle conversation. Like, it's just like, I'm not saying we'll see the loss leader stuff again, but it's more so just like the UK brands are starting to catch up, and it will be at that point. I'm a big fan of like UK clothing brands. I'm tapped in, and like that's my algo feeding me ads there. So it's just like, are they going to catch up at some point, and when does that happen essentially?
Yeah, I mean, all those things that I spoke about, they all make brands quite sort of shallow, like velocity, loss leading, being ruthless when it comes to brand. They're all things that could cause the end of a business overnight. Whereas, flip it on the other side of the head, you want to build a profit, first customer, first purchase. You want to invest in brand. You want to be cautious about what you say. Like, they're all things that you kind of wish you'd started 5 years ago. So chicken and egg.
100%. And then Phil, like we've talked about how you've been in this game for so long now, and like you've seen all the different roles of what can happen here. I want to talk to our media buyers, because I know we have a big media buying audience trying to figure out what to do. So it's like, what is the role of a media buyer right now, and how has that evolved over time?
So, I mean, this will have already been talked about 100%. It's no surprise, but I think equal parts media buyer, creative strategy, and we've brought on a junior media buyer at the start of this year, and she's learning. She's like 7 months in, and she's learning media buying 50%, creative strategy 50%. And if you fast forward that, 3 years into the future, she's going to be an absolute gun because she's got both hats. I can do both, and she could choose one door or the other door and focus on one or the other. But if if you roll back like 10 years, like creative wasn't even a consideration. You kind of just launched the JPEGs that you got given. And the only requirement was 1200 by 628. Like, those dimensions are just burnt into your head. 1200 by 628, it doesn't matter, and 20% text.
I remember this. I remember this all too well.
Like that's what, like, and then we just launched it and it worked, and it's like whatever, like 3% click through rate because you clicked on every ad. But yeah, it's creative, and if I think about my time now, because I still am involved in some ad accounts, it's like 20% of the time I'm doing media buying activity, and that might be like 3 times a week, whereas the rest of the time, it's analysis, creative review, creative strategy, writing briefs, dealing with partners and creators and whatnot. So yeah, and which is good. I come from a graphic design background. Like I did graphic design. I worked in graphic design for like 5 years after uni, and one of my tutors was always like, "It's communication. It's not a logo, because when you're at uni, it's like a logo or like a style zeitgeist. It's not. It's communication." Which is good from a consumer point of view.
100%. And honestly, like speaking to your creative background, at Motion, we always talk about the two sides of the brain, like analytical and creative, and bridging that gap. What have you seen be a successful background to excel in creative strategy? Is it more of the analytical side? Is it more of the creative side? What does it look like?
I mean, that's a good question. I haven't experienced one or the other, but what I have experienced is like attitude and problem solving. And I think that one thing that I learned going through like graphic design university was like creative problem solving. And you can solve it in a creative way, or you can solve it with like the right attitude, and both of those things are okay. But I think you have to be quite like thick-skinned. So like those are the sort of things that I think are really important. But if you're coming at it from a data point of view, I think you might get frustrated because sometimes it's like that Heights ad. It's like these 4 parts, if they all performed really well from a data point of view, if we put them all together, it's like that Power Rangers where they all come together and create this like, I don't remember what they were called, and then the data just won't work. So I think you can get frustrated sometimes if you approach it too much with your head. And yeah.
They call it the Frankenstein ads at a certain point, right? If it just all comes together, it's like, okay, this is gonna work, and it's like, damn, it didn't work. What the hell? The numbers told me it was gonna play out this way.
Yeah, and it's the stuff that gets popular online. It's like the ads for advertisers, and I'm sure there's a section of the audience who like that stuff. It's like people who like smart billboards. It's like the advertisers like them, like the creative director likes it, but there's still people driving past it. They still like it, but
It's a really good point. And then on the same topic of creative strategy, I'm wondering, going to keep it super broad, but do you have any hot takes in creative strategy right now?
I mean, let me what did I put down for you've what did I put down for this question? Hot takes, I can't find it.
For everyone tuning in, I always make sure to like prep people a little bit. I'm like, I can't just surprise you. I can't just surprise you.
Yeah, I think so. It's not necessarily creative strategy, but it kind of is, but it's more related to media buying. And I think it's come up quite a few times on Twitter, which is if you're doing top of funnel really well on Meta, you're actually not reaching totally cold people. You're actually reaching like really in-market people. It's like that Heights ad. It's like a lot of that spend will go to people who either know who Heights is or are already in market for supplements. And that's just the way like the Meta algo works. Your performance would be crap if you reached people who were totally cold, not interested in supplements and not interested in sort of self-improvement. And especially when it comes to statics, I think product legibility in the creative can be more important than the actual message. Like if you've ever bought something in a shop, you're in a shop, picked up a product off the shelf and you've bought it, like, was there a hook? No, there wasn't this like ad floating around. It wasn't like AR, this like floating message above the product. Like it was just product legibility. You saw what it was, you opened it, you looked at the back, you realized what it was, and the price was okay, and you bought it. And I think if you can improve the product legibility within the creative, contrast, showing it in hand, texture, I think sometimes those things can like go really far to helping you reach an in-market audience. And therefore your ads will probably improve in performance. And then you can start actually testing hooks and concepts. Because if you're not reaching that in-market audience, you're not going to be able to test those things because the performance is going to be that bad that it's going to take you so much more time, so much more spend to get any sort of statistical significance.
So what you're saying in the in-market cohort is like step number one is like try to build, well, you didn't mention this, but what I'm thinking is like for ease, build statics out first to try and understand if this is reaching the intended audience that you want. It's like, yes, did we make that happen? Yay?
Yeah.
And then number two, it's literally like, okay, once we know that we're reaching that audience, that's when we can start to fine tune. It's like, now we can start to hit them with a lot more that resonates with them a lot better across a video, not just statics, different formats, different concepts, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And a really good way of knowing that, like, how do you know that? A really good way of knowing that is by looking at your meta conversion rate. Like it should be, as long as you're presuming you're not selling like, a car or something really expensive with a crazy high AOV, it should be 5%, 4%, 5%. If you've got an ad that's absolutely slinging, you know what that looks like in motion. Click to purchase rate, it might be pushing like 7, 8, 9%. If that's like 0.5%, then you're not really reaching people who care about your product. So there's no point in. I mean, you can test different hooks and concepts and whatnot, but you're in the wrong party at the minute.
Super good call out.
You got to go next door.
Do you? Yes, it's not your people. Got to find the next door, knock on there and break it down. We're good to go. And then what I'm curious about is like, this is the in-market audience. Start there because, of course, you want to capitalize and hit profitability. Let's speak to that out-of-market audience. Are you ever spending time trying to like educate them to become in-market, or what does that look like?
Yeah, and that's where like video and like partnership stuff really plays in, because you're going to need all this baggage. You're going to need all these extra tools to fight that fight, because they're going to have so many more objections and so many more hurdles to get over before they do care about your product. So you're going to need, third-party validation from partners. They're going to need, maybe another face that they trust more than the brand. And then there's going to be a bit more storytelling. So one thing, we used to work with a bone broth brand, and our sort of pipeline on that was, let's get them to care about bone broth first, and then show that ours is the best bone broth. And I think sometimes you kind of like skip that first bit. And that's fine if you're talking in market. You already know what bone broth is. Ours is the best. But yeah, you need to add that bit in front.
I love it. Sometimes even language, just like in market versus out of market, is so helpful of like a mental model to just anchor the conversation. It's like, what are we trying to achieve? Make sure we hit the in-market audience. It's like, okay, clear now.
Yeah.
Instead of guessing, right?
Well, it's like that height side, you sort of add all these like 4 or 5 things together. We're going to try and speak to like in market, out of market, bottom of funnel, all at the same time. And you sort of, yeah.
Then Phil, as we're like continuing down this journey, you dropped so many bombs along the way where you're just like, oh yeah, people know about this. They talk about it before. And like you're right, but at the same time, you just casually just like, yeah, in market, out of market. Okay, yeah, videos, obviously, this is what you do. So you make it sound so simple. I guess what I'm curious about is like, is there a lesson in media buying, team building, creative strategy anywhere there that you've had to learn the hard way? And what is it?
Like creative, I think the biggest thing that we learned maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, I think like coming out of iOS and sort of trying to like rebuild out of that was like volume isn't always the play. And I think maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, it definitely was. And I think there was this like inflection point where a lot of brands sort of hurt because they carried on playing the volume play. And that definitely changed my sort of mindset into going really focused on like the brief, the quality, what are we trying to say, big swings between assets. I put this on Twitter all the time. It's like all these 4 ads came from one brief. They could, in theory, be from 4 different briefs because they're that different. They don't look the same. They've got different copy. Yeah, I think that's what I really learned. And then also, like iOS, coming out of iOS was a really hard time because we had data was pulled back. But then we did have data, it was like GA, like old school Google Analytics was still there. So we were spending so much time putting all these numbers together and we didn't really get anywhere.
I remember the GA days. I remember those days. Yeah. So do you have any opinions on like the resurgence of volume and like people now talking a lot about like, yeah, get volume up. Volume needs to be insane.
I think it's got to be volume in the right place. Like I don't think version 1.1, version 1.2, version 1.3, and you've got like all these like A, B, C, D variant, like small variants, like what happens if we change the button color? What if we change, like if we make the text a bit bigger? Like that's not the volume play. I think if you can do volume and it aligns with stuff that actually benefits the audience. So more partners, bigger swings between creative. I think all those are cool. Like put them all on a whiteboard, all your different variants, and ask, would you be happy if you saw all these different ads in your feed? And think about it as like a consumer falling through your like creative funnel and still kind of try and care about that like communication experience.
I love that, man. Because even when you're talking about like the in-market audience, there's so many different types of people who are in market, depending on your SKU of products, of course, and like the value you add. So that diversity at the highest level is so important to figure out before nailing in all that fine tuning. So I feel like that checks out a ton in my mind, logically at least. And I'm hearing a lot of voices like say similar things now. Like Barry was here last week, kind of saying the same thing. Like people are preaching volume, but that might not be the play. That might not be what we want to do. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think what we haven't spoke about is like time as well. Volume doesn't need to be volume today. It could be, okay, let's work on this over the next 6 months. And we've got a matrix, we've got formats down the left, and we've got concepts across the top. And you could fill all those squares in. But let's get to a place in 6 months' time where it's like the snowball is building as it goes down the mountain. And actually, that's really what you want from an ad account. You want it to build momentum. You want all of these ads to be live still. They're all an opportunity to spend, serve audiences, increase reach, all of those things which benefit the account. Yeah.
How do you manage people's expectation against that? Because so many people, I want volume right now. Come on, I want these answers to the test right now. And it's like, hold on.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I think it starts, because like we're obviously an agency, it starts like during the pitch. I don't think you can preach that during the pitch, and then when they sign on, you sort of say, that was before the date. This is after the date. Like we don't act like that. So it starts. It's like how you talk during the pitch. It's, you know, building out a pipeline, a plan for the next 3 months, being realistic about what's going to happen. People come on to us and say, you know, how many ads are we going to get each month? And we say, we're going to tell you how many briefs we're going to write each month. We're going to tell you that. But I could tell you, I could say 200 JPEGs, and I could deliver 200 JPEGs, but I don't think it's probably going to benefit just having a, you know, a volume target. So
100%. And okay, Phil, you've been so generous with your time. I have a couple more questions. Can I sneak them in? Is that all good? Appreciate you, man. The one that I'm curious about right now is, again, vast amount of experience, all different roles, multiple agencies. Is there anything at this point in time that has you banging your head against the wall?
I mean, not necessarily. I mean, oh yeah. Tell you what, I mean, Meta. Like, I wasn't going to say anything. No, it's everything's fine. Like, we've had a couple of pages going down in the last couple of months, and ad accounts going. The last 2 months have been an absolute pain in the backside for account issues. Not necessarily like ad rejections. I feel like they've been fine, but yeah, the platform's been definitely buggy. Our reps are saying, I don't think you're breaking any policies. It's like, well,
why are you shutting me down then?
Yeah,
like, come on.
Let me spend. So that's been frustrating, and especially because like when the whole health and wellness tag came in, or sensitive ad categories, we kind of like got over that quite quickly. And now we're into like the eye of the storm, and we're actually it's not very good. But yeah, I mean, I don't take it. I sleep well.
Good.
I try not to take this stuff to bed with me, because we always come out the other side.
Yeah, man. I'm a meditator. So like I literally wake up every morning and it's my like reminder. It's like, all right, come back to the present moment. It's all good, man. Don't worry about it. Don't stress out. You're fine. And like remind myself that. So I hear you. Definitely hear you. Okay, Phil, I ask everybody who comes on the show the same question, just from the inspirational side of things, but just curious, if you have a favorite quote and why.
So, good question. Do you mean from other people or from me?
Honestly, whichever way you want to take it. If you want to quote yourself, I'm not going to be mad at it. If you have one that helps guide you in your day-to-day, that one's also cool. But wherever you take it, man, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got them written down, but I'm a big June fan. So, like, maybe we start quoting June in related to media buying. Maybe I'll start talking about that a bit more. But I mean, I'm a big metaphor guy. So I like a metaphor, and I like getting a metaphor wrong. You know, because a lot of the time people will just nod and sort of go along with it because you're in like a thing. So no,
that is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that is ridiculous. That reminds me of like Back to the Future times. So it's like, hey, McFly, make like a tree and get out of here or something.
It's a bit like The Office, isn't it? You know, you're sort of like saying stuff like 80% correct, and everyone's smiling, nodding. Yeah.
Phil, I appreciate you, man. Is there any final words you want to leave with our audience?
Use motion. There you go. That's sponsored. Hashtag ad.
We got to be sure to let everyone know it's an ad, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, throw it out.
Yeah.
Sure. Else people are gonna be mad about it. Yeah, kill it. Phil, man, you're the best. I'm always so appreciative of your time, and whenever we get a chance to talk. Everybody tap in with Phil on Twitter, or X as we call it now. Need to putting out fire, but you're the man. We got to do this again. We got to run this back at some point.
Definitely. Cheers, Evan.
Appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Oh man, everybody, as Phil's still here and he's figuring out how to get out, I will say this is huge, man. This is huge. Like I said, before I started any type of X journey or doing the events that we do, I've been following Phil and like taking his content to heart. I don't know how many people know, but like I come from the media buying world. So it's like I've run these ads, worked with creative teams, and I needed guidance along the way. So it's just like, what the hell should we do? And Phil's one of those people that I could always tap into, like metaphorically, get the metaphor wrong to be able to see what's going on. And I really liked the language that he provided, like really around the in-market versus out-of-market. Sometimes those frameworks is so helpful to anchor your meetings around, because everyone's going to have ideas all over the place. It just becomes, how do you grab those and centralize them back to where we are? So like I was saying, everybody, you got to go tap in with Phil. That's a must. So if you can, please, please, please go check him out on Twitter. And what I will say is before I welcome our next guest to the stage here, I will also say is if you want to stay tapped in with us as well, go at, if I can speak anymore, but go ahead and check us out on the ThumbstopLive page. So at ThumbstopLive, every Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. ET to 1 p.m. ET, we are running these back with so many different guests. And I will be posting a ton of different clips as well. So for anyone else in your audience who might have missed these shows, they'll be able to see them here and we'll bring them back. Okay. Fantastic, y'all. Okay. So that was Phil. Now we keep the show going. This is a great time. Now I'm excited for this one too, because he just started popping off literally last week. I want to say on Friday or Thursday, just started popping off, killing it. And we're going to get into all the details of why he does what he does. But the next person I'd love to welcome to the stage here is, here we go, Dillion. Welcome to the party.
Hey man, thank you. Oh, it's a party up in here.
always a party, man. Always.
Love
How
that.
are you? It's so great. It's so great we get the time to talk.
Oh, likewise. I'm doing really good. Doing really good. How are
I
you?
love it. I'm fantastic. So for context, everybody, Dillion and I were DMing, and it's like, oh, where you at? Like, where you? And I'm always expecting to hear somewhere in America, right? Like that's the default. It's like, oh, Toronto. I'm like, hold on a second. Wait, I'm from Toronto too. What do you mean? Like, here we go. Let's set this up. It's like,
Right
where do
down
you
the
live
street.
at? Yeah. It's like, where do you live at? And it's like literally down the street from each other. So the next time we run this one back, we're literally gonna have to do it in person. Get the vibes.
Yeah, we have to. 100%. I'm down for that too.
Dillion, I love it, man. Before we start getting into like what you have going on the product front, because I think what you have is so interesting to so many of the D2C audience that we have here today. What I'm curious about is if you can just give the people a high level, like tell me about yourself, what you've been up to, what are you well known for? Honestly, anything you're willing to share, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so my name is Dillion. I'm one of the co-founders of Refract, which is an AI ad agent. Before Refract, I was previously building a UI library called Magic UI, which is a collection of components which design engineers can use to build websites. So that was very deep in the developer space. And before that, I was a software engineer at a bunch of big tech companies like NVIDIA, Shopify as well, actually, and a couple others. But I've been doing startup and software stuff full time for the past, I want to say, almost 3 years now.
Congrats, man. That's huge.
Thank you.
And first thing I'll say is apologies on the name pronunciation. I messed you up. I can't do you like that. Dillion.
Oh, no worries. No, I think you said it right as well.
Okay, perfect. I thought I messed it up at least, but I'm saving myself.
You're good.
Appreciate you. And I think what I'd love to do is just bring the people up to speed on what your current project is. Does it make sense to like share our screens and just like show the video that you have going on, or is there different ways we should do it?
I think we could do the video. The video works, the one on the tweet, and also we could share one more as well.
Dope, man.
Do you want me to share, or do you want to share?
I can share the video one, and then if you have the other one that you wanted to, we can jump to that one after, okay?
Okay, sounds good. I'll pull that up.
Sweet. Too. Perfect. So both of us will get to work in the background. I'll pull this one up first. So bringing it up here, we'll restart it off.
Perfect. I have the one up here too. Oh, okay, you have it up here.
Love it, man. So making it super easy to create prompts and then ultimately edit videos to get them live into the world. I guess like this scene, do you have another video you want to show? Sorry, I was just like jumping straight into things here.
No worries. We'll dig into this one first, and we'll go to the second video afterwards.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Just context wise of like the problem space and why you started to focus on this one to be able to solve.
Yes.
And then how you started thinking about the best way to solve it.
Got it. Absolutely. Yeah. So context wise, last year I was doing a lot of Instagram and TikTok ads for my previous product, Magic UI. And at the same time, I saw the development trends in the underlying AI models, so the video models, text models, and I thought like they're going to get better, and eventually it's probably going to reach a point where I can just prompt to make ads, and I don't have to like pay UGC creators or pay studios to make ads. I could just do it all for low cost and have very high volume of that too. So about a year ago, I began prototyping and building a product which can do that for me. So I can make ads for my product just using AI. And that was the origin story behind Refract, this product right now. And the approach which I took, which is your second question about why I chose to do it in this way. So over the past, I want to say, I think 9 to 12 months, there's been a huge trend of AI code generator websites. So there's like Lovable, you hear about that a lot, Bolt, B0. A lot of marketers and developers and even like non-developers can actually go in and just put in a simple prompt or take a screenshot of a website and make the same website themselves. Like very, very easily, happens instantly almost. And I figured like this is a very, very powerful approach, or like a user experience, I would say, a user experience to build something new, because people can come in and instantly get value. There's like no time to value. So I was like, okay, why don't we just do that same thing for ads or for marketing? People come to the site, people put in a prompt for what ad they want, and we just build the whole ad for you. And then if you want any tweaks to it, you can just prompt it again, change something, change some characters, sounds, music, whatever you need to change. It can be done easily with the prompt. So that's how I chose to solve or approach this problem.
That's so funny that you had your other business that you had built or the product you had built. And you're like, I'm going to run some ads. Hey, this is a little bit hard. Should I just build this other thing? I'm going to build these two things now and get it going. That's insane, man. So impressive. So impressive.
Thank you, thank you. It's a sort of a bit of a distraction at first, but then I realized, oh, it's also valuable too. Yeah, but
This
honestly,
is the real product.
it's partly because I was a bit lazy as well, and also, I had some bad experiences too. Like I used to pay UGC creators to make ads, and it was just like a hassle. Like it would take like weeks, and then lots of iterations again and again, back and forth to make more and more like fixes to the videos. Uh, it cost a lot too. And I was like, this should be possible to make better with AI.
And then in your world, from an intended user standpoint, is it going to
Yep.
be founders that you're targeting that should jump in here, or who do you anticipate is the ICP?
Good question. I think majority of the ICPs are going to be in the D2C space.
Mhm.
My guess is that it's going to be e-commerce store owners, and also consumer app founders. So those are the two main groups we're targeting right now. And also, to add on to this, actually, in the previous version of this product, I'll also go into that on the second video we go into.
Nice.
We're heavily targeting marketing agencies, and they actually really like the previous version as well, which is still also live too. But we're looking to expand right now to other ICPs. But yeah.
Huge. And what I'm always curious about is like at Motion, we talk about ourselves as like the home of creative strategy. And then what that entails is, of course, the creation end and the editing end, like we've been looking at within your product. But then the other side of things is also like this idea of, hey, let me conduct research to determine what we should make. So what I'm curious about is like the vision of your product that you're starting to build out. So it's like starting in a place of an editor and making it super simple to go live with ads. Like, how do you imagine your product evolving and the problems you want to continue to solve?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to tie this to something that Mark Zuckerberg said recently. I think it's maybe a month or so ago. He said that in the future, Meta Ads platform will become sort of a machine where you just put in your spend and budget, and they'll just give you leads customers, and there's no creative work involved in that. And I think that the end goal of this project as well would be along those lines too. So essentially, we want to build an agent which runs ads for you, and it'll create ads, different variations, different formats, post them to Meta Ads, get results, and then on a weekly cadence, whatever cadence you have, just like reiterate and reallocate budget, spend, creatives, whatever it is, to maximize returns. And it's going to be fully autonomous in the background, so you can be like at a beach on your phone on Slack. You can like text your agent to say like, hey, how are my ads doing? And it'll give you a report. It'll just manage everything in the background. So that's like going to be the end goal for this product.
I got you. That's awesome. I have so many more questions, but I'm curious. We can probably jump into the video that you have queued up. Let's take a look at that, and then I'll throw some at you along the way.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Awesome,
so
man.
Let me share my screen.
Perfect.
So this was our first launch of the product. And this was targeting more towards the marketing agency ICP.
And the basic demo.
And I'll explain why. So same thing, it's a video editor where you can put in text and videos and audio as well. But the cool part is this actually over here. So I can actually generate variations of the same video. So over here, you can see, let's go back a bit. There's a hook over here that says, bruh, 3 years of studying, I just found this. But I can also make different text to fill in that the text box, and also generate multiple different versions of those too. And likewise, I could do that with videos too. So right now there's a girl in the first few seconds, which is like the hook of the video. I can actually pick other footage of different women for that as well. And as you can see here, right now what I just did was I picked 2 videos and 50 text variations, and 2 times 50 is 100. So I just made 100 different variations of the same ad. And we can go over here and see the preview. This is the preview. So you can see each of the combinations have been created, and you can export them and then just upload them to Meta Ads and test which variant does well. So this is like the first version of the product, and we still have this live as well if the marketing agency are interested in something like this.
I love it. When did you launch this version of the product?
This was back in April, I think mid-April.
You're zooming, man. You're zooming. First version April, next version July. That's killer. Think about how these old SaaS companies like move so slow along the way, right?
It's the benefit of being small and lean. Right now, it's just 2 of us
100%.
working on this.
I got you. Okay. So one of the things I'm curious about here is like the data side. So you can create all this variety of ads and make it go live. Have you heard from any of your clients performance-wise how things are looking?
Yeah, absolutely. So for the marketing agency persona, which we were targeting before, so they've used it a lot. We've had a client which has been absolutely ripping it. Like I think within 1.5 months, they generated 18,000 ads on our platform, and those are all different variations. It was insane. Like I didn't even expect that. And I think he uploaded most of them to Meta Ads. So his process was very unique. He was testing like very minute changes, which would make a large impact. So in particular for him, his ads were like just a simple stage of clips which have some text overlay on them. And what he did was he had 5 variations of the text overlay, 5 variations of the video, and 5 variations of even the background music. So he would have 125 ads, which he would post live in these CBO campaigns. And what he told me was that I think like 80% of them wouldn't do well, but the 20% that did do well, or 10% that did do well, would have like a 20% or even higher ROAS on those. So I was like, whoa, this is like really, really like detailed, fine-tuned testing at scale. And he said like he started a campaign with this product and he hit $1,000 a day profit within like the first week using this method too. So it's very cool to see that. But yeah, they've been going really hard on the testing aspect of it and like the volume game in particular. And right now we're as a product, we're focusing on the generation part of it too. How can you make the new ads as well?
I feel like when you heard that was one of those ones for me, at least I'd like jump up. I was like, oh my, 18,000. What do you mean?
Yeah.
This is insane.
It blew my mind. Like I expected people to make like maybe 30 ads a month, 50 ads a month. And I was like, wait, what is this guy on? What is this guy doing? But
so
he's a really, really cool guy. He's a really cool guy. He has a very systematic method of like testing, and the results show too.
Something I'm curious about is like going back to, so you have the ICP company types along the way. And then what I think about are the personas themselves. And we've talked about founders specifically. I am wondering, have you worked with anyone else who's like, we can talk about different layers of an organization, but like, I don't know, a head of growth or a media buyer or a content creator. Have those people popped into your world at all?
I wouldn't say so yet. There's been a lot of e-commerce store owners who've been like running like dropshippers is one, but also like brand owners as well. And they've been using this product so far, but I don't think from our current base we have like media buyers or like growth people.
Yeah. One, because the main reason I ask, and like honestly, I'm just curious about your perspective on this, just for
Yeah.
conversation's sake. It's like, your product can be seen as scary to some individuals, right? Like, it's just like, I create this content, like, what the heck's going on? But what the general like sentiment is across the org, it's like, or across the, I'd say, like, industry at this point, is that, hey, if you're a content creator, let's use them as an example. The question becomes, it's like, how can you leverage AI to be able to succeed in the future? It's not like you're going to be replaced. It's like, how can you leverage it to best succeed? And then one of the things that we talk about at Motion quite a bit is just like higher levels of abstraction. So it's like, as a content creator, if you are the one who's just taking instruction of a brief and just like shooting it yourself without much strategy, then there's risk at play. It's like, how do I get out of a pencil pushing like mentality? But then something I think about with your product, and let me know if it resonates. If it doesn't, like, I want that to be clear too. It's just like, if a content creator is now saying, let me sit in the strategy seat. Like, I actually want to like act as my own mini agency. I didn't even think of that, but like, consider that, and like pump out a bunch of creatives with a strategic mindset. Like, is that an audience that you'd be interested in? And like, does that potentially make sense for what you have going on?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's possible. So I'm assuming right now, from my mental, I guess, standpoint, that these creators that that brands work with are mostly like UGC type of ads. So it's going to be like them talking to the camera as
You got it.
in the main format. So with that, right now in the product, I don't think that they can like modify their own footage. What they could do is generate different variations of their ads, like the final output that they've created. Also, what they could do is generate like stock footage or like AI generated footage of the product itself. So say your D2C brand which sells coffee, and it's like a packet, but maybe the coffee didn't arrive to the creator in time to film the ad. So you can just make some like AI generated image or video of the creator holding the coffee and like talking about that. So that could work, but I wouldn't say it's like the best fit in the current version of the product.
Got you. That makes sense. That makes sense. Because really what it would be for it to be a fit, it's like that content creator would be transitioning out of a stage of like career where it's, let me shoot content, to like, let me be an agency that can fulfill the needs of so many different clients, not with my face, but just with like delivering so much different output on the ad front. So it'd more so be like a career transition rather than a nice marriage into what they have going on now. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. It'll be take a lot more learning. I would like an education gap would be, or knowledge gap would be there for the
100%.
creators.
I got you. Perfect, man. And then Dillion, I guess what else I'm curious about is just like, we've talked about the vision, but in the immediate future, I know you just launched this latest version, but
Yes,
it's like
yeah.
immediately, like, what's next for you? Like, what are you thinking to build out, or what's the next step in your
Yeah.
world?
Absolutely, yeah. So main thing right now is improving quality of outputs. So right now, when you go in, you want to make an ad. Sometimes it's like not the best, or sometimes like the AI video has like the hands that are like messed up, right? That's always a big problem. So there are ways to like address these or make them more robust. So we're working on fixing those. And another thing as well is we want you to be able to like upload your own assets and the AI agent to use those as well to like make the full ads for you. So say for example, you have either images or videos of your own product, you can put that in a platform, and then we can either remix them or create new videos of the same product, or just like edit them in a way that's structured as a production ready ad, I would say. So yeah, I think right now the next focus would be improving quality and getting more customers as well to like try it out, give feedback, and like provide the most value we can.
Huge, man. And then on the like getting more customers to try it out type of thing, like, how can people find you? How do they sign up? What does it look like?
Yeah, absolutely. If you can head over to refract.so, the URL is refract.so. And also you can find me on X. I'm very active on X. I post a lot of tweets about like product updates, just learnings, things like that. Yeah.
Love it, man. One question I ask everybody who jumps on the show with me, and let me know if there's one that comes top of mind. If not, throw it to me first. It's
Yeah,
just like,
definitely.
if you have a favorite quote, and why?
Okay. So one thing that's been top of mind for me recently is I like to quote. I don't know who said it, but it's action produces information. Sometimes what happens for people is like we get stuck overthinking or like worrying or like not like planning. I would say planning, the planning trap. You just like think about things, but if you just like take the step to do the thing, then recalibrate or reflect afterwards, it always ends up being better in my experience. And I always like keep that top of mind for myself. Like I always want to take the step, take the action, try that thing out, and it helps me personally like move forward a lot and like learn a lot more in particular.
I love that so much. I love that so much because, like, in addition, the way that I worded it in my own mind was like, can I
Mhm.
just brute force something? Like, if I can just
Yeah,
push it through quite quickly, can I brute force it? Because what that will then do, it's like shortening my learning cycles. So it's like the
absolutely.
faster I can get and as many learning cycles as possible, you're not catching it, like whatever it might be. And it's like what I love about the stream. Like we do it every day. It's like right after I'm done, I have a million notes for myself. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
can I improve the next day on there? So
yeah,
that really resonates with me, man. That really
yeah.
resonates with me for
Love
sure.
that. Yeah, like the short feedback loops is the most important thing, as you described there as well.
100%. Sweet, man. Well, this has been an absolute pleasure. I'm thinking like if there's any final words that you wanted to leave with our audience.
Um, yeah, I mean, just check out Motion, check out Refract.
Tap
um,
in.
yeah, happen. um, yeah, if any questions to me personally as well, like, you can reach out to me. Be happy to respond or like answer any questions about um, like AI, ad tech, anything like that as well.
I love it, man. And if anyone else is in Toronto, hit us both up. Like get us both in the DMs here. Like we got to
Is
get this
there?
Toronto community going. Like it seems a little dead. We got to bring it back up, man. We got to bring it back up.
Love that. Love that.
Ah,
100% down.
Dillion, I appreciate you, man. It means a lot to take the time and like jump on here and like talk about what you have going on. And it sounds pretty cool at the speed you're moving. So keep crushing it. People definitely got to tap in with this guy. You're going to see exactly what's going on. But I appreciate you, man. We got to do this again. We got to do this again at some point.
Thank you. Sounds good, man. Nice talking
Most
to you today.
definitely. Most
Have a good one.
definitely. I'll catch you later. I'll catch you later.
Bye.
Later. And as Dillion is like figuring out how to get out because you always have that little step. Guys, this is so interesting. Like all these different AI platforms, including Dillion's, are a must check out. No matter what your own internal emotion or feeling is around it, I always say that it's just worth checking it out. Because like we ended with there, what we want to try to be able to do is like have a full understanding and increase the speed of our learning cycles. So by you knowing what's going on in the world, that'll set you up in a really great spot where you're literally just like, okay, I understand what they have going on. I love it. Here's where I can use it. Or it's like, I understand what they have going on. And you know what? It's not for me. And that's okay. So I think all of those different scenarios are completely fine, in all honesty, to play out that way. Okay. This has been a fun stream so far. Like we've had Phil kick us off, and Phil's an OG in the game, like talking about everything else that's going on. And then we have Dillion who had came to stage, and like Dillion is just moving at the speed of light, pumping out different products. Like you heard him start by talking about how he had a separate product that was like he was running ads for and saying, hey, there's a problem that I can solve here to run better ads, that turned into the new thing. So all of those different cycles are so cool to see for me. And then the other person that I want to invite to the stage quite soon in a couple of minutes here is Lauren. So Lauren is from Loft 325 Creative Agency. I've known Lauren now for shit. It might be like 3.5 years. That's insane. Like mind blown. But Lauren is absolutely incredible. I'm excited for you all to tap in with her as well. But before that happens, I think like because we've had a couple guests, I'm just going to hit a quick stretch. If you would like to as well, please do that with me. All right, ready? Let's go! We doing this. So I'm gonna stand up, stretch my legs, get it going here. And for anyone else who's tuning in, I actually recommend protein shakes now. Like make yourself come to life. Don't feel like you're sitting at a desk nonstop. I promise you we will be healthy together. This is a fitness journey in addition to a stream, okay? So let me go ahead and get my setup ready. Awesome, y'all. Everyone else, I know you're tuning in from different places around the world. What I will say is this is welcome to ThumbstopLive. Thumbstop Live is happening every day, Monday to Friday, from 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be live streaming across a bunch of different platforms. So that includes LinkedIn, X, Instagram, and YouTube Live. For anyone who wants to dive into the chat, we are super interactive. So if you have things that are top of mind, throw it at us, because I promise you, our guests are going to be able to pick them up and knock it out of the park. But with that being said, what I do want to make sure that everyone taps in with is that you're checking us out on the Thumbstop Live page. So because this is going to be happening every day, you want to make sure to turn your notifications on, okay? So you see us here, X platform, X profile, there I am, see all the different names, see what's going on. You're sick and tired of that, I know. But go ahead and check us out. If you can follow us, you're going to be able to get those notifications, be able to see exactly what we are talking about live and direct at you. Okay? Fantastic. So without further ado here, I'd love to welcome our next guest to the stage. So I'm going to bring Lauren up here.
Hey!
Lauren!
How's
Welcome
it
to the
going?
party.
Yeah.
I'm amazing. How are you?
Good, doing good.
Fantastic. I love your lighting. Like, this looks
Oh.
fantastic. I need to freaking fix mine now. I feel inspired.
It's good because it's like still early and it's like overcast. So I'm like, oh, good lighting this morning.
I'm in like this white boxed room, and it's just like I have a couple of lights that refract everywhere. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, if I had the natural light, this would be like A1 day one, but I feel like I need what you have going on. I definitely feel like I need what you have going on. It has been a minute. How have you been? Like, how's life? I feel like I saw you went on a vacation recently. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, no, it's been great, actually. Yeah, I did. Went on a vacation, went to Europe for 3 weeks. So that was nice. Yeah, so going
I
great.
love it. I love it. Yeah, the places that I've been to in Europe. So I've been to Paris for a couple days, and then I went to Italy, and I did Florence and Rome.
Okay.
When I went over there, it was beautiful. Like, I
Yeah.
need to go back at a different point in my life, but it was absolutely insane.
Yeah, we went to Paris, we went to Rome, and then we went to Sorrento in Italy. And that was probably my favorite. It was so nice and relaxing, and just like every like Italian vacation you could think of, that's like what it was. It was so nice. I was like, I could live here. I could definitely live here.
That makes me so happy. I feel that way when I go to Japan. So I've been to Japan a bunch, and I'm half Japanese, and it's like I see some family out there, and I'm like, in a different life, I am a wasabi farmer off the grid, doing my thing, and I am happy living the dream.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I've never been to Japan, but that is definitely a place I want to go for sure.
Gotta go. I got itineraries on deck, so just let me know and I'll line it up for you,
Okay.
Perfect. Lauren, well, it's incredible to catch up. Like, always been someone I deeply respect. For anyone here who's tuning in, can we just give them the quick, like, tell me about yourself? What are you most well known for?
Yeah.
Everything you have going on, and we'll take it from there, if that works.
Yeah. So
That's
Lauren
awesome.
Schwartz, owner of the Loft 325. Actually, we just merged with another company, Tier 11, end of last year. Yeah. So big step for sure. So now we definitely have more resources in terms of just like creative, us, and then media buying, CRO, email, organic. Like, it's literally gotten so big. So yeah, but definitely just kind of doing our thing right now on the creative front and really building out like a world-class just creative team. So it's been awesome. The last 2 years have been crazy. Just a lot happening in the last 2 years.
So for everyone tuning in, like, when I first met Lauren is like banging out some of the best creative and like works with some of the best people in the game. So it's just like always absolutely impeccable. But Lauren, what I'm curious about is like, with this merger with Tier 11, how important of a decision was that for you to like pick the right team to team up with?
I mean, it was okay. So I've been in agencies. I had actually started working with them, just helping them with their creative strategy, just like really working with them on some of their brands and just trying to help them, with their creative strategists build out what that means. And I met the owner, Ralph, and honestly, like, he's a good guy. Like, we just hit it off. Myself and the team hit it off really well. It definitely was a big decision. I mean, went back and forth for a while because it's like, do I want to do this? Do I not want to do this? But I think like once you find like good people, good partners, it just makes it that much easier. So it was definitely a big decision, but things have been going really well. I'm super happy. Our team is awesome. Like I can't say enough good things about our team. They're just so good, such great people. Like I absolutely love it.
That's incredible. Yeah, I feel like there's something to be said about the organic nature of how that relationship formed. We're just like naturally working with each other, feel each other out, and it's like, okay, this is a fit. We can really scale this, be able to make it happen.
Yeah, it was good.
I love it. How has your role evolved, like in this situation?
Yeah, so it's funny because when I first started the Loft 325, obviously like it was me by myself doing everything, and then like that, that started to grow, and then obviously hired amazing people on my team, amazing designers, strategists, project managers, and so this now has actually taken me out of kind of the day-to-day work and more focused on like high level, helping to build out, structures and like, how are we working on creative, like just higher level thinking, which is really fun. It's also really challenging because it's just a different side of what I have been doing. I was so in the business, just focusing on, getting the clients, doing sales, like trying to like, do that side of everything. And now it's like, we have a team that, does a lot of that. And now it's like, okay, what's the higher level thing? How are we going to scale? So it's been really fun, but it's definitely been like a totally different, different way of working, thinking, like, so yeah, it's definitely been different for sure.
Oh man, I have a similar experience at Motion, to be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like jumping to the higher levels of abstraction. What I'm curious about is, like you mentioned, it's hard. Like, what part have you found the hardest? I'll share after on mine, but I'm curious on your side.
Yeah, I think the hardest part for me is that I was so used to making all of my own decisions. And now there's a team, there's like consulting, there's meetings, there's talking through everything. And so it's not just me doing it by myself and making that next decision. It's okay, as a as a business, how are we going to do this? How are we going to grow together? And so that has been not challenging in that, like, I'm not willing to do it. It's just more of like, okay, like I can't just make a decision and do it. It's more like it takes time. It's a process. Like, so it's like that's just a different side, that it's just a longer time period in like getting things done. So I think that's just kind of been like a harder part, in that I'm so like, I want to get it done and let's just do it. And now there's like a process.
Yeah. Like, I'm so used to brute forcing something.
Right.
But like, I think for me, when I was first like having to jump to a higher level of abstraction, like I remember watching the movie The Founder that talked about McDonald's.
Yes,
Remember that?
that's a great movie, actually. Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah. And like the OG McDonald's guys didn't want to scale because they couldn't maintain quality.
Yeah.
So the biggest thing that my head was like, okay, how to maintain quality around every customer interaction, right?
Yeah.
And I think like when you're able to do something well, sometimes you have expertise that you can't describe. You're like, I don't know, just make the first 3 seconds like that. Like that's gonna bang. Like it. Like at that point.
So true. That's so true. And you like kind of, it's funny because I was working with our VP of production, and her and I were talking, and I'm like, yeah, we just do this, this, and this. And she's like, okay, Lauren, you've been doing this for so long. You need to break it down for me. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then when I started breaking out the steps, I'm like, oh, wait, that actually is a process. Like there's a lot that I'm still involved in that I need to take out of my head and give to you. So that, yes, you're right. That is definitely like, you don't realize it because you're just doing it every day. And so it's just
100%.
It's easy to like get stuck in that, for sure.
Yeah. And it becomes hard to articulate why you do what you do. And like, that's the part that I found the hardest. It's like, can I sit down and be like, okay, you say this thing. Why the hell do you say this thing? It's like, oh, damn, Evan, why do you say that thing?
Yeah.
And then in your world, it's just like, I know this is what the landing page and creative like experience should be. I just know it.
Yeah.
It's like, explain to me why. It's like, don't slow me down. Like, just go.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like, I don't know why, it just is.
Yeah. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Lauren, I pulled up a couple tweets of yours that I want to take a look at together. Some
Yeah.
of them are older than others for sure, but I think it's going to be such an interesting, because some of them that I found like are quite interesting. So let me kick off the first one here.
Okay.
from 2020.
Oh, geez.
I know. Now look at this. Thought of the day. Invest in your creative and your media buyers. They truly go hand in hand. I have stumbled on far too many accounts recently that have horrific structure. Creative is key, but knowing how to structure an ad account is truly essential. I want to know if you think 5 years later now, is this still relevant? Have any updated thoughts on this one?
I mean, I definitely think creative is still key. I still think you should invest in your media buyers. They still have to go hand in hand. I mean, your creative is going to get thrown into an account, and if you don't know the structure, you don't know how it's going to get tested, like it's still definitely relevant for sure. So yes, I stand by that statement 5 years later.
That is so interesting because it's like those principles still remain factual. And it's like, that is facts. Because I also agree with you, but it's just like, with that in mind, there's so much massaging that can happen, which leads me to one of your next tweets. So we're taking a couple years forward here in 2022. But thoughts, my feed is now saturated with UGC. I believe UGC is effective and works, but I also believe in marketing. Don't fill your accounts with only UGC. Fill it with a variety of strategic ads and audiences. Saturating your account with just UGC doesn't equal a winning account. Talk me through it. What do you think? Is this still accurate or what's going on?
I still believe it's accurate. I mean, I stand by my word. I mean, it's okay. So yes, UGC, like you still have to have it, but you still have to have diversity. Like that's just how it is. Like you're always going to have diversity no matter what. I definitely don't think you should fill your account with UGC, but again, you still have to be strategic in how you're talking to your audience, how you're displaying the UGC. So yeah, again, I stand by my word.
And sorry to put you on the spot here, but something I'm curious about is like outside of UGC, are there any formats that you're leaning on right now being like, this is a good one, like we should go to that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm always a proponent of a static ad. I mean, I still stand by that to this day. I think a really great image with a really great strong call out or headline or copy is still always going to resonate. So I still stand by my static ads. I still think they're relevant and you should still have them in your account.
I love it. Okay. And then I got one more here that we can pull up. Speaking about, I don't know if this is interesting, but I got tired of doing the same style. Do you remember these? Do you remember this one?
Yes, I do. Oh my gosh.
Do you think every ad you've ever made is like burned into your brain? Where it's just like, yeah, I know what's going on.
Yes.
So I got tired of doing the same style of UGC. So mix this one up with some static images, borders, and not full screen. Even I get tired of seeing the same talking heads all the time. So let's watch this one. Let's let the audience watch this one. And I want to know if you think this one is still a banger. So let's bring it up in the beginning. Can you hear it? Can you hear it, by the way?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay, cool. Let's start from the beginning.
If I can change one thing, I would definitely go back to the beginning of my pregnancy and make sure that I am taking all the right supplements.
I need to share this brand with you. It is called Needed.
A few weeks back, I started taking the Complete Blend for Women from Needed. I already feel such a big difference in my mood and my energy levels.
It also has all the vitamins and minerals that we need to support us from pregnancy and beyond.
It comes in so many different options, so it fits all the different stages of your pregnancy.
I cannot recommend this brand enough. Check out their page, check out their products.
If I can change one thing, I would definitely go back.
Man,
what do you think?
Like forever ago. The crazy thing is like I designed that, and when you look at it, you're just like, cringe. Like, just because it's like it feels so long ago.
That's so funny. So when you look at this now and you feel that cringe, you're like, damn, I don't think this would work. Or is it just like where I'm at now? Like everything is so much better.
Yes,
in terms of what we're producing.
I just think like what we're producing is just so much better now. And I mean, I think in 2022, this ad actually did perform really well. But now looking at it, there's just like so many things I would change. And just the call outs, it was like, for me, it was really slow. Like there's just a lot of things that I would update. But I think at the time, again, it did really well. But yes, that's now
so interesting.
This would not, I don't think this would do very well.
Oh, that's so interesting. So the feedback like becomes, okay, if we can speed it up, have
Yeah.
stronger call outs. Are there anything else where you just like immediately stood out to you?
Oh yeah, like I mean, yes, like the static and like the GIF that was in the back, like I would have called out the products a lot better. Like it just, again, there's just things that I'm kind of like, yeah, cringe. But I mean, again, it did well. It did well in 2022. So
But that's the thing, going back to like expertise is just so inherent, and you're consistently your own like machine, you know? Like it's just
yeah,
like, I'm machine learning. This is exactly how it should be. So
yes.
it's so cool. It's so cool to see you have that feedback. Okay, I think something else that I'm curious about is like speaking to your background is always quite interesting for our audience.
Mhm.
So before starting Loft 325, on your end, like what were you doing?
Yeah, so it's funny. I actually started in the product space. So I worked on the brand side, and I was actually a designer for actual products, like physical products, when I first started my career. So I was doing like apparel, I was doing accessories. So I have a very strong background on like product development, products like that side of it, knowing like how, like what product costs, COGS, like all that stuff. So I started there. So the first part of my career was literally focused on just products. And then I actually went to school for like web design, UI, UX design. That's like what I went to school for. And so I had started in the digital space. And then, you know, in my 20s, I was like, oh, I'm too cool. Like I want to do product, and then did that. And then basically went back to digital, went back to UI, UX, then started working on email marketing. And then I started working on social and really kind of found my love for ads. I was just always like so interested in it. I started working at an agency and really just started focusing on ad creation, and found out I was like kind of good at it, and I could like understand like, okay, like the behavior behind it, the consumer behavior behind it. I think it actually helped knowing the product side of it, just knowing like how people shop, what they shop for. And so I think that just like inherently was like, okay, well, if I, you know, change this or do this or call out this, like it'll, you know, help with like someone to actually purchase it. So I think just kind of knowing all that background and having that background, I think helped me. I mean, but yeah, so that's kind of where I started and like where I am now.
Huge. So all of that experience, and then finding out you were pretty good at like making this actual ad creative here.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm curious about now is like, I know you as someone to make bangers. Are there steps that you follow, whether they're mental models or frameworks, that you're like, okay, this is the process that I follow to make the winning creative that I'm going to deliver to our brand?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I think, okay, yes. So now you're gonna make me break it down. So Ange, if you're listening, I hope you listen to this, because she's gonna be so proud of me that I'm breaking this down. Yes, I think the thing I always look at first is just like the reviews. Like, what are people saying? Looking actually at what the customers are talking about. Again, what are their pain points? You know, what are the things that they, again, are talking about in the reviews, are talking about like what they would have changed, things like that. I think your audience is your most important piece of it. And instead of just thinking like, okay, great, I'm just going to make this creative with no strategy or thought behind it, like that's, again, it doesn't work. So understanding like what are the pain points and how people are talking about it, that's always where I go first. I always go to reviews. I always go to feedback, Reddit threads to see like what people are saying. And from there, taking out those like little nuggets of what people are calling out is where I start building out like a process and a structure of like, okay, we're going to talk about this in the hook, or we're going to talk about this, you know, as a product feature, things like that. So it's like, what can I call out? And then how can I start to build out my ad that way?
I love it. I love it. And then because it's so funny, because it's like all of that emphasis really goes to the research side and like building out the strategy. It's like creation is a whole other beast, but you want to make sure that research is done really, really well.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, what I'm curious about is like, in your experiences, what are some of the biggest mistakes you see brands making when it comes to content creation?
God, how much time you got? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, I think the research gets missed sometimes. Like, I don't think a lot of people do put as much research into it. They see the trends that people are doing. They see what other brands are doing. They're so focused on their competitors that they don't take the time to actually understand their own brand. And so from there, it's like, okay, great, that works for your competitor. Doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So really, again, just taking that time to do that research, like that is probably the most important thing. And I think a lot of brands with content creation, they're just always trying to hit that next thing, that they don't take that time to actually do the front end work in order to make the back end work.
I got you. And then speaking of the brands themselves, what's the weirdest ask that you've ever gotten from a brand?
Oh my gosh, what's the weirdest ask? That's a tough question. I'm trying to go back and like, again, this is years of random things. I was talking to, it could be a product itself. I was talking to Fraser Cottrell, who owns a creative agency of the UK in Manchester. Yeah. And he had a product that I think was basically like a stone for taking off like dead skin on your feet. Yeah. Yeah.
Like a pumice, is that what it's called? Pumice?
Like a pumice stone,
yeah. Yeah, like a pumice stone. So like shooting that day, he's like, oh mate, I was the one in the ad with the black gloves taking the dead skin off someone's foot.
Yeah.
So for him, he was like, that one was kind of weird. And I'm wondering if for you, it might not be an ask, but it might be like a product or a shoot one day where something quite funny happened.
Yes, I would say, we were actually shooting. So this was like in the studio. We were actually shooting a product for, again, like a period company. Mm-hmm. And the things that we had to do in order to like make it work, you're like, that is using a whole nother side of your creative brain that you're just like, okay, how do I make this work and not be disgusting and like talk about it? So yes, the product was, I mean, again, we made great content, but at the end of the day, I was like, I can't believe we're doing this right now. I can't believe we're asking these people to like do some of the things that we were doing. So yes, I would say so like funny. That was probably the weirdest thing, is just some of the clips that we had to get.
The things we do for amazing creative strategy, it's like the things we do to commit to it. And I guess like Lauren, there's something you mentioned earlier that brands focus on is like, sometimes it might be competitor focus or trend focus, but you really should be focusing on the fundamentals.
Yes.
So what I'm curious about is I want to take a step back and like talk about like a hot take you might have or an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
So what I'm curious about is if there's any hot takes you have right now within creative strategy.
So I would say that, again, I'll go back to content, because I think that's like, it's so huge right now. I actually think instead of stopping the scroll, and I might get blasted for this, but I think instead of stopping the scroll, you should learn how to be in the scroll and more so like intertwine with it. Because I think the biggest thing right now is that so many people are trying to stop the scroll that people know instinctively that it's an ad. And so I think the more native it looks and the more it actually fits into your feed, it seems like it's a conversation and people are talking to you, and you have a tendency to look at it more and think like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And then you want to click and then you want to buy. So I actually think the opposite, in a sense, in that I think if you're resonating and it's like streamless and it fits into the scroll and people are talking about it in an authentic way, I actually think strategically it works a little bit better than always having to stop the scroll. That's my hot take. That's my, again, don't blast me in the comments, but I just think it works better, honestly.
That is so interesting. And I kind of love it. I'm wondering if you have an example you can share of like how that's tactically changed your approach to making creative.
I mean, I think, again, like with some of the brands we work with, just trying to be more authentic and organic. I mean, we had a creative recently where it was someone just talking, and they were talking, it was like for a blow drying product. And they were just saying like, I hate having this like, like hotel dryer kind of like hair dryer. And that just like one sentence is crushing it. And it's more just like, I mean, like that's kind of how you think of it, is that it's just talking about this blow dryer in a way that is authentic. It like makes sense. Like people understand it. They resonate with it. And it was just a talking, like they were just talking. It seemed like they were just talking to their friend about like, hey, this is what I found and it works great. And, you know, it was just so, again, it streamlessly fit into the feed and it was so native that it just works really well.
Was there specific, so that's like content wise, was there any treatment that you did that was different in this case?
Nope. It just looked super native. It was really organic. And I think it just works well.
I love that. So speaking of the idea of something that fits into the feed there. So what I'm curious about is like, are you only making creative for ads, or are you also making organic creative for brands at this point?
Yes. So we're doing organic content as well now. So we do ads and organic. So we have a great person on our team who does organic, and she definitely does, you know, an amazing job of just really like intertwining the paid and the organic side. And again, it just looks really native to the feed. So it's simple, it's easy. It's like talking to your best friend, and it just, again, seamlessly fits. Again, I mean, don't get me wrong. I still think like scroll stopping ads work. I'm not saying they don't, but I'm just also saying that I think if we're in such a fast paced world right now that people are just constantly trying to get you to stop, that your brain, like I said, instinctively goes to ad, scroll, as opposed to just like, oh, you know, I'm just scrolling through my feed and I see someone talking, like, what are they saying? Like, I don't know. I think like your brain is just, we're programmed different now.
So have you always done organic ads, or is this, or organic creative, or is this more of a new offering?
This is a new offering. Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
yeah, this is definitely something that we haven't done in the past. So just kind of leaning more into that now, really.
So that part, so we've talked about like blending into the feeds. I'm also wondering if there's anything else outside of that you've learned as you've had to just create more organic posts.
Yes, people are very opinionated on organic. No, really, they will tell you straight up what they feel about something in organic. I mean, they do it on ads too, but like, I think again, like organic it's something that, again, they just don't want to be sold to. I think like most people on organic, they come to your feed because they want to learn about the brand. They want to see the audience that you built. They really want to know that they're a part of a community. And so seeing that side of it too, it's like, okay, as a brand, you still want to build that community within organic. I think building that community on your paid ads is actually really important too, because at the end of the day, especially now with like the younger generation, they go to community. Like that is who they want to buy from. They don't want to buy from someone that doesn't have a community. They don't have, you know, authentic content. Like is the more real content you have, I think the better it is. So the organic and the paid definitely play together with that now.
Lauren, how are you on time, by the way? I know only I put
Yeah,
a calendar
I'm good.
hold. You're okay?
Yeah.
You're killing it right now. I feel like there's so many things I want to dive into it. And there's also a question that popped in from the chat. This one's coming from YouTube, from Dillion. So he says, Evan and Lauren, what are the top essential skills and tools every aspiring creative strategist should learn and develop in 2025, and why? So 2 questions, skills and then tools.
Yeah, I mean, skills, I think, again, it's just like being strategic is very important. Like I don't really know how to teach strategy. It's more just like you need to be in it. You need to be understanding like, what are other brands doing? How can I learn from them? How can I see, again, you know, taking everything that you have and breaking it down and really diving into, okay, what worked, what hasn't worked? Again, that's why motion comes into play. Like we like go so deep into our reporting with motion that it's so helpful. And it really helps you like pull out those nuggets of what's working, what's not working. And so really just like understanding the strategy, understanding the brands that you're working with and the audience and what time we're in right now. I mean, I have a 12-year-old daughter. She's whatever, Gen Alpha, I guess. And so they were born with social media, you know? So it's like, that's a whole nother like side of it now. So there's so many things that are happening right now that you have to know how to like think strategically and really start to stand out and really and think differently too. So I definitely think that's something. And then tools, I mean, again, like Motion, like it's a great tool. Like it's a great tool for creative strategists. So, I mean, you have to understand the data side of it too. Like not only, you know, what you're testing, how to build the creative, but like how to analyze that creative and then really bring it back to what you're testing, how you're, you know, like how you're iterating and things like that. So, you know, understanding that is super important too.
Huge. I feel like I just want to like retweet both the things that you said, like because I'm at a spot where like the critical thinking to know the problems you want to solve and who you're solving them for
Right.
is essential.
Yeah.
So it's like you need to build the foundation that's rooted there. And then tooling wise, I appreciate you for saying Motion. I think I'll lead into something that I'm actually curious about your opinion on.
Yeah.
So one of the other things I'll say, Dillion, is like leveraging AI within your research.
Yes.
So I'm not a person yet who's like on the creation side that we're there. I don't think it will. It's just like a matter of when. But like right now, it's not going to take you there. But within the research end, I think it can help speed you up to get a lot of insights. But you need the foundation to know what's right and wrong.
Exactly.
But Lauren, curious in your world, like speaking of AI, like are you using AI at all in your day-to-days, or is there anything else?
Oh yeah, AI has literally become like you're right. It's become such an essential part of the research. I mean, it does help. Like before, yes, you were like going through forums and you were looking at everything. And I think understanding how to do that research is really good because that's what's going to help you prompt your AI. I think like people come into it and they're like, oh, I'm just going to ask it this generic question. But it's like, no, you have to know how to prompt, how to, you know, how to build out what you're trying to build out, how to do the research. And so understanding that is just so crucial when it comes to AI. But yes, definitely we're using AI for the research side, you know, for helping us write our briefs. We actually are testing a lot of creatives as well with AI, which has been very interesting. So more to come on that. But yeah, our creative team is amazing and they have been we've been doing a lot of testing with AI lately. So yeah, TBD on that.
as someone, so this is where it's interesting because like it can be, I think AI, especially on the creation side, can be quite controversial.
Yes.
And for someone like yourself who comes from the creative side of things, like how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, at first I was like, no, like it's, you know, it's going to take my job. Like I just can't do it. But actually I think AI is very fascinating. I'm actually a huge proponent of it now because I don't think it's going to take my job. I actually think it's going to help make it better. Honestly, it's going to help our skills, and you have to be rooted in design and creative to understand how to even make something look good with AI. So I don't necessarily think it's going to take my job. I mean, maybe not yet, but at the at the end of the day, it's like, it's such a helpful tool. It really does help you move things along. Ideas that, you know, if you're a smaller brand and you don't have this like huge budget to pay for an agency, it really is helpful to like even get some assets that you need, you know, to even start something. So I, you know, was against it at first, but now I'm actually like, I think it's great. I think it only helps us, honestly.
Yeah, something we talk a lot about Motion is just the idea of like helping individuals who are great level up in their career.
Yes.
So it's just like leveraging AI so you can level up in your career. Because I think if you're a content creator who purely just takes instruction and it's just like the strategic part doesn't exist yet,
yeah,
it's a good reminder to be like, oh, you know what? Like the strategy is where the value starts to happen. Like, can I get there a lot faster with some of the research tools that are available? So I'm with you. I think the gut reaction is right, but then like, how can we leverage it to consistently evolve? Sounds like a good marriage, in all honesty. And then Lauren, something I am curious about is like you've built up this wealth of experience and knowledge in the space here. Is there anything that you feel like you've had to learn the hard way in creative strategy?
Yes. I mean, not every test is a good test. Definitely, my instincts are not always on point. There's a lot of things I've learned. I mean, I've done a lot of bad stuff in creative strategy. Like I think everybody has, but really it's just, at the end of the day, you think you know one thing and it'll literally come back and bite you in the butt and prove you wrong over and over again. So yeah, I mean, it's all about testing. It's all about learning. It's all about growing. So I think it's just sometimes your gut instinct isn't always right.
And does that mean that you have like a bias where you're like, oh, this creative is going to crush?
Oh, all the time. I always think that. I'm like, this is going to do so good. And literally I've had to stop telling myself that. I'm like, because I'm going to jinx it. I like in my head, I'm like, just think it. Don't say it. Don't put it in the world and the universe, because if I say it out loud, it's probably not going to go. It's not going to go well.
That's so funny. I love that. I love that. And then in your new day-to-day, so that's outside of the weeds, is there anything that has you banging your head against the wall right now?
Yes, honestly, like, I mean, Meta, I think Phil said it. I mean, like, honestly, like, they always make me bang my head. There's just the changes, the updates, like, all the things keep doing all this stuff. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. It's like, I feel like we get on a path of like, it's going well. Things are like, we're turning and burning and doing things good. And then all of a sudden it's like, whoop, like, nope, stop it. Let's change this and like rethink your whole entire strategy. So yeah, I mean, honestly, Meta will always be making me bang my head in this industry.
How do you deal with that?
I drink a lot of wine. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it's just learning and evolving, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just trying to adapt. It's going to happen. So I think just not letting it get to you, don't sweat the small stuff. Like, you just have to learn how to adapt and grow. And so really that's all you can do.
For sure. And then Lauren, I've been asking everybody this question and some people are caught off guard. So if you need some time, let me know. I'll answer first. So it's around a quote. So okay. Do you have a favorite quote and why?
I mean, I don't know if it's a quote, but I think more just like a saying of like, again, like I really do live by like, don't sweat the small stuff. Like there's been so many things like in my life and just like in general, work, career, everything. It's like, the more I stress, the more it doesn't help me. So it's like, you just got to sometimes learn how to let go. And once I feel like you learn how to let go and just know that it like, you just have no control over things, like that's just, it just is better. It's better mindset. It helps you like not be so stressed. So I definitely like live by that for sure.
I love that. And I'm sneaking in another question here, but basically I think there's a lot of people who are tuning in who are starting to think about career transitions, like copywriter to creative strategist, UGC creative to strategist, or anything along those lines. And sweating the small stuff, not sweating the small stuff, like 100% agree with you. I think there is some guidance we can provide some people though. So what I'm curious about is like for someone who is starting their new journey to try and become more strategic, like where should they start? How should they start? What would you recommend?
That's a great question. It's funny. I'm a professor at a college and I do that part-time. And, a lot of my students actually do come up and ask me like, how should I start? Like, like, how do I go? Where do I go? And honestly, like the biggest thing I could say is just really starting to like dive into brands and understand the thought process that goes into like, if you're wanting to be a copywriter or if you're wanting to be a creative strategist, trying to just understand like, okay, what are they talking about when I'm actually looking at an ad creative or when I'm actually looking at a piece of copy, like what are they saying to me? Like, I think once you kind of start to dissect things a little bit and understand like where people are coming from and how they're starting to talk to you, I think is something that is really easy to do. It doesn't require a lot of money. And I mean, you can just really start to like break things down. And I think once you kind of start to break things down into just little nuggets and chunks, you can start to understand the thought process behind it. And so I would say like really just start looking at brands, start looking at their creative, start looking at the copy, like really understand who they're talking to. And from there, it's like you can really start to level up and build that, use AI. Like I think it's going to be your superpower, especially when it comes to copy. and strategy. So yeah.
I don't know if I knew that you taught a course. Like,
Yeah, I do.
which class is it, or which course is it?
So I teach at Chapman University in Orange, and I teach branding and branding and
Nice.
advertising. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you like it?
I love it. Oh my gosh. The amount of information I get from these students is insane. Like, their thought process is so different. I love it. I feel like it's like my research. That's how that's my other intel is, like, I get research into these kids and these minds. But yeah.
Yeah. That's so funny you said that. So like right now in tech, there's a lot of companies that are popping up that are founded by, like, I don't know, people who are like 20 years old, you know, like 21 at that point. And I'm like, yeah, I'm so much older than you at this point.
I feel like an ancient person, and I'm like, I'm not even that old, but like they make me feel old. So yes.
And one version of me wants to like hate on it, but I can't at all, because I'm like, they're killing it. So like I sit down and I watch their stuff and I make notes, and I'm like, okay, how can I try to learn about what they're doing?
Oh my gosh. It's funny. I actually will take some of my ads and I will play that for them, like in my lectures, and I like ask them questions and they give me their honest feedback. And honestly, it really does help me, because it's like they give such brutal, honest feedback that I'm like, dang, I never thought of it that way. Like, their minds are just, seriously, they're like so much smarter, and it's scary. It's scary how smart they are. These 21-year-olds, I'm like, I'm scared of you. You're way too smart for your own good. So yeah.
What are a couple examples of feedback that you've gotten when you've shown something?
Oh my gosh. Like, I've gotten it, just like they watch it and they're like, I hate this. Like, this product is terrible. Why is it even on the market? And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, it's actually a really good product. So chill out. But yeah, just like they are just brutally honest. So
honestly, this is like, I've been trying to think about ways to just naturally tap in more. Like I'm trying to curate my feed to just get exposed to more of like the younger kid stuff, but I'm also trying to like manage like my mental health.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so it's like that balance, but it's such a good idea. Just some version of like, if I could even go back as an alum to my old like college, and be able to like talk to like first year students, like that could be really cool. So that's super sick. That's super sick.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, Lauren, you've been so generous with your time, and it's been a minute since we caught up. Like, I'm so happy we got to. I'm so happy that we got to. Are there any final words that you want us to leave with the audience today?
Yeah, I mean, again, motion. If you're a creative strategist, you have to use it. Like, it really is so helpful. So yeah.
Thank you so much. And then I'm going to go on the other side of it. Make sure you follow Lauren on all the socials. She's posting so many great things, and you want to check out both Loft 325 and Tier 11 at this point. Tap into what they have going on, because if you need to make some amazing creative, whether it's organic or paid, they got you. They got you. Lauren, I appreciate you. We have to do this again at some point, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Evan. Thanks.
Most definitely. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye. As Lauren tries to figure out how to get out, oh my God. I feel pretty inspired right now, guys. I want to like go back to my old college, and like, because I have been thinking about it a lot. I'm not sure the type of audience that we have with us today, but I don't know what I am in terms of millennial, but like up there, you know? So I've been wanting to figure out how to understand what's happening, right? Because like, as a previous mover and shaker of culture, I don't know if I'm the main driver anymore. So it's trying to understand what's happening beneath my feet. And I think Lauren presented a really good option of just being able to tap in and talk to the younger generation. And if that is you, hit my DMs, because you know I'm always trying to talk. Like, that'd be absolutely incredible. But I feel like Lauren came with so many bangers there that were influenced by, well, again, this is a common theme from all the conversations we've had, but those unique experiences that you've developed at different stages of your life have brought you to this moment. Now, Lauren's been able to step out from being in the weeds and in the actual work every day to more so be on the business. And I feel like there's a lot of trends that she's now sharing as she works with more people and scaling the knowledge. So that point around the hot take of, hey, a hook. Is a hook really what's going to work these days? Everyone is trying to stop somebody in their feed, but how do you organically fit in there? So I think there's just a look and feel conversation of what organic posts are looking like these days. Because if we can understand that, then we're in a really great spot to be able to replicate that in ads. And now that I'm talking about this, if you weren't here last Tuesday, go check the recording. We're almost done posting clips, so we'll be able to say it. But Barry and Dara were up here joining me, and they talked about the importance of understanding the type of organic content that your intended audience is served. So understanding the organic content that your intended audience is served. Now, why that was so powerful is that I remember Dara specifically mentioning this, because usually what happens when you're trying to think about what ads to make next is you go look into the world and build out boards of what those ads should be and what they should look like. And it's like, hey, I like these ads, let's replicate those. But Dara was almost like, nah, I don't want to see ads at all. I really just want organic feeds to see what it looks like. And I feel like it's a really good through line to what Lauren had mentioned here. So I'm pretty excited to just like start to curate some of my feeds. And again, I'm not sure who is here for the Phil portion of this stream, but Phil mentioned something really cool too, speaking about how to curate your feeds. Now, I don't know if this is the case across all platforms, but specifically on X, if you're screenshotting on X, apparently that really influences your algorithm. So, and your feed ultimately. So I feel like I'm about to just snap and take a whole bunch of screenshots across these different platforms so I can start curating my organic feed so we can all think about how to move like water and blend into those feeds. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, this was a fun one, everybody. This one was a fun one. We had a lot more engagement in the chat today. So I want to say shout outs. We had a bunch of names. David Duarte, what up? So happy you were here. Amy Bella, so excited. John Jacinto, welcome to the party. Amy Neely, Amara, we got people. Allison Matthews, Candace, Ralph, Divyam had so many great questions. So what I will say is like, again, these happen every single Monday to Friday from 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. So you're going to be able to see so many voices in our community coming up. And I posted on my own Twitter page about who we have scheduled. Let me actually bring that up for you all so we can take a look at it together, okay? So if you don't want to miss out, or if you have friends and family who are trying to learn more about this space while they're starting out, or have a brand who you think could benefit from this knowledge, I'm posting a ton to my page. So for week 2, you can see today we had Phil, Dillion, and then we had, well, off 325 is Lauren, of course. Tomorrow we have Daniel and Max. So Daniel has an agency, Max has an agency, but both of them have moved from employee to building their own agency to forming their own brands. On Wednesday, we got Joel and London. On Thursday, we have Roman and Taylor. And on Friday, we have Andrew Foxwell and Sanjay from Replo. So we got a whole squad coming this week. I'm excited. This was the right way to start off the week. And if you want to stay tapped in, like I said earlier, follow us at ThumbstopLive on X. We're posting all the clips there. It's also going on to TikTok, taking over one platform at a time. I got to work on my singing voice. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me. Everybody, this is where we're going to wrap today. So we're going to wrap a little bit earlier because there's been a lot of gems that have been able to be shared. But if you are interested in checking us out, like I said, those are the social channels to check us out on. But this was amazing. I'll catch you tomorrow at the next one, all right? Peace, y'all. Catch you later.